Welcome to Tiafa Garage. Today we're going to swap out the coils on this 2016 G63. And the story here is I had the 60,000 mile service done with the spark plug swap out, which is not easy, not a DIY. There's 16 spark plugs, it's like 4 hours of labor, so I didn't do that. But in the process, we did not swap out the coils, and then it was not running properly, and then it threw a misfire code on the check engine. So it turns out the handling of the coils created some micro cracks or whatever, their old original. So now we are replacing those coils. That is a relatively easy DIY job. So let's get to it.
Tiafa Garage.
So I've already removed the left and right air filter. I've got another video I'll link here on how to do that. It's very, very straightforward. To access the coils, they're these guys here. This, they're underneath there, and I'll show you what they look like in a minute. But this cover is on when you take off the air filter, so you just have to remove this. It's very straightforward. This bends back, and then there's these little clips, plastic clips that are holding on to, you know, some features down here. It just pops off. It's just a thermal insulator, also very easy to remove. So I purchased Borg-Warner Beru. I think they were actually under the Beru name. Coils, I think it was about $300 for all 8, not too bad. This is what the coil looks like, and you can see that that is gonna go, you know, for example, there's 8 of them, obviously. So this plug here will plug into that spot there, and the 2 holes here correspond to those 2. Plug into those 2 fastener holes. These fastener heads here are called an E8 female Torx. So this here is an E8 female Torx. So I got this from Harbor Freight, deep Torx sockets. They're also called E-Torx, and we needed the E8 for this job. So I'm gonna do this one first just because it looks easiest to access, and then maybe I'll go back to here and then work my way forward. First I'm gonna take out this plug, make sure that looks right. See if there's any tricks to that. Yes, there is. So to do that, you first pull this back. So you push back here, and then you kind of push down on the gray thing and sort of wiggle the connector. I can't do it with one hand, but anyway, you get the idea. Sort of wiggle it. Oh yeah, there we go. And it came off. Incidentally, if ever these attachments are fighting you, attachments like this, there's always some kind of mechanism that, and like in this case, the 2-part where you click back 1 and then press 2 to lift and then pull off. So never fight it, because if you fight it, stuff will break. Not a whole lot of torque on these. It broke free quite easily. So then I've removed the wrench, and I'm gonna carefully back out by hand the fastener, and I'm gonna keep nearby a magnet so that once it comes free, it doesn't drop down into the abyss. Here's what one fastener looks like. I had to back it out maybe 1/4 inch or so before it came free, a little bit more, 1/3 of an inch. So keep that magnet nearby. All right, we've got both fasteners out of this, and so now it's loose, so let's just pull it. I think they kind of snap onto the spark plug. When I'm removing them, I'm finding that kind of wiggling them up and down while pulling out is the best way, because you're kind of breaking a seal. There's a seal here, and you're kind of freeing that up as you just pull out on that cylindrical light press. They both have a sort of a flexible joint at the top and a, you know, the cylinder at the bottom. Those green things are not splines. It's actually must be dielectric grease or conductive grease probably. And they both have this sort of compliance at the top. Just while I'm thinking of it, I think it's probably kind of obvious, but you want to push down that and make sure it's fully seated before you cinch this, because it is possible, since this is flexible, to not have that fully seated and still sort of put it in. So make sure you push that all the way down to get the electrical contact. This is just mechanical. Putting it in is reverse. I'm once again using the magnet technique just because I don't want this to drop down. So I'll use a magnet, get it positioned in the hole, and then tighten it, the 2 fasteners in the hole. And we'll be on to the next one. Okay, 1 down, 7 to go. Okay, halfway done. We've done the right bank, so let's go do the left bank now. For tight spots like this one, it is convenient to have this being able to tilt, so I do suggest getting a tool like this. All right, we did it. All 8 new and installed and torqued and plugged in. Back together and all stitched up. Let's fire her up. All right. All right, started right up, no check engine light. Everything seemed normal and good. So when should you change your coils? You should change your coils if your car is misfiring like mine was after the plugs were changed, or if you, or if it throws an engine code with the OBD reader that says you've got a problem with your ignition coils. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Tiafo Garage.
Tiafo Garage.